Let's see what we're getting ready to direct sow in May. Hello everyone, welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. I am going to direct sow some things from seeds this last week in May. Hi everyone, my name is Kim and I live in Southwest Ohio, and it's the end of May and I am going to direct sow quite a few things today in the garden that's finally not underwater. And I wanted to bring you with me. I got my little wagon all set up, ready to go with all of the things that I plan on planting today. And I wanted to share with you what some of those things are and bring you for some of the seed sowing, probably not all, because there's quite a few seeds here. So let's just jump right into all the different things that I'm going to sow today on May 24th. What is today? On May 24th. So as you can see here, there is a big stack of seeds that I'm sowing here at the end of May. So let me just break it down, all the different things that I am going to direct sow today. And these are not in any order at the moment. They will be when I get into the garden space though. But let's go through it here. I like to start all of my flowers indoors so I can make sure when I put them in the beds, they're already ready to go. But it's not too late to plant flowers as well. So I have 3 different varieties of zinnias that I am going to plant today. And all of these zinnias that I'm going to plant today, it says you can plant them after the last frost, which is a great thing because there's no frost in sight. I'm sure there's some more rain in sight. But these 3 types of zinnias are short. I think one gets up to 15 inches. This one here, I'm going to just have to put the picture on the side because the sun is so bright and I haven't seen it in so long, it seems very strange to me. But the Persian carpet zinnia only gets up to 15 inches. The Tombolina zinnia only gets up to 12 inches. Lilliput mixed color zinnia only gets up to, where did I see it? 16 to 18 inches. And I really don't want to go any higher than that in the garden. The flowers that I put in my garden, y'all, they got to work. You know, they're not here just for fun and beauty. I need them to work. I need them to bring in those pollinators, those bees and hummingbirds and all that kind of good stuff, right? But at the same time, I don't want it shading out the vegetables that I have growing in my garden. My garden is mostly, and I do mean mostly, for providing an abundance of food for my family to enjoy all year long. I grow all of my own food and I want to keep growing my own food, but I do need the pollinators. So if I'm putting flowers in the garden, that means that they got to work. And so I need all of my flowers to stay short so that they're not shading out any of the vegetables because that's the primary focus of my garden. So these 3 zinnias right here, the Lilliput, the Tumbelinas, and the Persians are the 3 zinnias I am going to direct sow today in the garden. And the only reason I'm direct sowing is because I don't have any transplants. That's the only flowers. I'm also going to do a few other things today. I will be starting 3 different types of carrots today. Y'all, and if you follow me, you know I went seed shopping and I shouldn't have, but I did. I went seed shopping and I picked up some new varieties of carrots. I'm going to start 2 very unique carrots that I found. One is called Pusha Aceta Black or something like that. Here are the pictures right here. And both of these are like really dark purple or black carrots, y'all. Carrots, not orange, not red, not yellow, but black carrots. And here's the one. And it says this particular carrot right here that I'm talking about is good in extreme heat. And it's a tropical black carrot. So I'm thinking this would be perfect to grow during the summer months. The other one that I'm going to grow is the Lila Lu Sang. Lila Lu Sang. And if you see here on the picture that it looks like it's purple on the outside, and on the inside it's orange like a typical carrot. And it's different. That's why I'm growing this one. It's very different. I think the girls would enjoy looking at it. I know one will enjoy eating, the other one would just look at it. But it's just something different from the typical orange and like yellow style carrots. So those are the two carrots that I'm going to start fresh this season from seed in the garden somewhere, because spaces are starting to run pretty thin. And then I'm going to grow one more, and it's called the Envy. And I already have it in the garden. I'm just going to fill in some spaces that didn't germinate very well with the Envy. So those are the three carrots. Wow, there is not a cloud in the sky, y'all. I haven't seen this in so long, it's kind of throwing me off. The sky is this deep blue, and it kind of caught me off guard. The next thing that we're going to sow today are, what is it? 4 different types of beans. And I do mean green beans, yellow wax beans. You could do purple beans, you could do striped beans, but there's still time to grow beans. And I am going to grow, 5 different varieties of bush beans. I am going to grow this Nautica dwarf bush bean. And it was cute, y'all. When I saw this, I'm like, oh, I need to grow this one here. And for no other reason, because I've never grown it before. And yes, I bought the seeds because I didn't have this particular variety. So we're going to grow these beautiful bush beans. We're also going to grow some Blue Lake bush beans. I always do, I think, Blue Lake pole beans, but I'm going to put some Blue Lake bush beans over in my neighbor's garden so he can enjoy them as well. I'm also going to put some more dragon tongue beans, which is a really cool variety. It's a wide flat bean, and my neighbor loves them. You can eat them when they're young as, snap beans, or you can wait and just eat the beans that are inside, like dried beans. But my neighbor loves them, so I'm going to put a few more in his garden today. And then I have 2 more wax beans. I have the Sonesta wax bean, here's a picture of it here, and a golden butter wax bean, and I'll just put both pictures up here. And I already have a GreenStalk full of nothing but wax beans, yellow wax beans. I think there's 3 different varieties in there. By the time I'm finished today, there will be 5 different varieties in there. I have a couple pockets that are sparse. There's only 1 or 2 that came up in that pocket, and I like to put 5 plants in a pocket. So we are going to backfill empty spaces with these 2 varieties. That's it from a bean standpoint, but there are many different types out there if you're looking to grow more beans. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my corn in. I haven't planted my corn yet. I've been just holding off for what reason, I don't know, other than the fact that I hadn't cleaned the beds up yet. But I'm going to grow golden bantam corn and candy corn, sweet corn. Those are the 2 types of corn I'm going to grow. The golden bantam corn is a gardener's favorite from my understanding, and it only gets about 5 feet tall, which is perfect for my little garden over here. The candy corn, sweet corn, is supposed to be delectable in taste. It's supposed to be really, really good. Now, I've never had that one. The only difference about that one, it gets up to 8 feet tall. That's going to be some pretty tall corn. So I have to put it in the back corner because I don't want it to shade out anything else. And just so everybody knows, I don't need to grow corn. I live in corn country. So growing corn is just something fun to do. Like corn is on sale right now for 25 cents an ear. I mean, 25 cents, no, it's not even 25. It's 20 cents an ear right now because I can get 5 ears for $1. So corn is super cheap in my neck of the woods. So I can buy it cheaper than I can grow it. So this is for fun. We will have some fun with some corn. Oh, I missed one bean. When I was down in North Carolina and not supposed to be shopping for seeds, and I picked up a whole bunch of seeds. Yeah, I said that. I did pick up some strike bush beans as well. I did do strike bush beans over the winter in my indoor grow space. Didn't get a good harvest. I believe it has something to do with the seeds or lack of watering or something. I don't know. It didn't grow well indoors, but I picked up a lot, y'all. How much is this? A pound? Yeah, I picked up a pound. And y'all, that feed and seed store I went to in North Carolina, a pound of seeds is only $5. A whole pound. So anyway, we're gonna put some strike beans in. Here's a picture of strike beans. It's just a green bean, but they're super slender and they have white seeds inside instead of black seeds. And I prefer the white seeds versus black. So that's why we're gonna do some strike. I think strike's gonna become one of my new favorites. Now I've shared all the beans. I also plan on putting out my peas, my dried peas, shelling peas. Some people like your purple hull peas, your black-eyed peas, those, your black beans, that kind of stuff. But the variety that I'm going to grow this year is called the dimpled brown Crowder pea. And here's a picture of it. It likes it hot, and it's been a little chilly lately. Like this morning, I think I woke up to 50, 40, 45, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a little chilly, but we are about 15 to 20 degrees lower than what we should be for this time of year. So I'm going to go ahead, hopefully it's going to warm up, and I'm going to go ahead and get these shelling peas in the ground as well. Now, I think that's everything except for the greens that I'm going to put in. I'm also going to go ahead and replant my collards, and I'm going to plant the Georgia Southern collard greens. I got them from a different supplier, so hopefully these are really collard greens and not turnip greens. I'm also going to plant the Morris Heading collard greens, and here are the pictures of both. My collard greens grow really well during the summer, where my turnip greens, mustards, those type greens don't do really well once it heats up. So planting the collards now, they'll be ready for me to eat and enjoy all summer long. But I am going to go ahead and plant some of my wrap, however you say it, greens. Since I have so many of them, since I bought so many of them, I am going to go ahead and find a small space where I can plant some of them as well. Now that's what I'm planting today from seed. The only other item that I have that I could plant from seed is my okra, and I just didn't bring it out here, but I do plan on planting okra as well. And again, that's another one of those heat-loving type plants that you can plant from seed. I just don't have them, but okra is another one. That's all of the seeds that I'm going to plant today. Since I'm planting from seed, I don't need any of my Mykos. I won't need this, but it's in my little cart because that's where it usually is. I'm going to use my seed square because I am going to try to use the Squarefoot gardening method where I can. What else I have in here? I have my fertilizer, which is Dr. Earth. We'll get the Dr. Earth in there from a fertilizer standpoint. And all of the beds I'm going to be planting in has plenty of soil in them already. And they're already probably loaded with tons of Fox Farm. So I won't be using Fox Farm because I don't need it. But I am going to add just a little bit of compost. And here's the brand of compost that I will be using for the beds that I'm going to be planting today. I've already updated my seed journal, my seed starting or planting journal with the things that I'm going to start from seed today. I've already added them into the journal. And if you're interested in the journal, there will be a link below. The journal, I made it for me so I could set up, I like to be organized when it comes to how I grow my food. And so I created the seed journal for me for that reason. But if you're interested, the links are to it below. I think that's everything. Y'all, let's go plant some seeds. I think one of the first things I need to do is separate my seeds back out because I've mixed them all up again. Where did the other corn go? All right, let's get our wagon going. I'm gonna get my license revoked again. So this is the space right here that I will be putting corn in today. I've already turned the beds because they were full of leaves and all kinds of stuff we didn't need in this bed here. Now I said leaves, but I'm talking about these sweet gum balls. I'm talking about these things right here. These things right here fall from my trees. I don't know why we would plant something like that to come off of the trees and down into this space here. But anyway, I have those trees throughout my property, and they always drop into this bed here. And I've already got them all out the bed because they get in my way. Not all of them, because I still see about 10 in here just looking now. But I thought I got them all out. This bed got some ashes from the fireplace from over the winter that got mixed in already. What else does this bed already have? That's it. So we're going to add a little bit of compost. I got to get my scoop, my big green scoop. So I got my big green scoop here. And I'm just going to add a little compost. And I don't do this for everything, y'all. I don't add compost to every bed. Sometimes I add it and sometimes I don't. This little short bed back here, I'll add some to it as well. I need to mix this in. I've already taken the drip irrigation out, just pushed it to the side. Once I plant the bed, I'll get it put back in. And I should have put this in before I started mixing it up. I wasn't thinking. But I'm also going to go ahead and put in my fertilizer. I'm just going to take several handfuls. Because I need to mix that in as well. Now, hopefully this bed is happy now. Hopefully. Let's make this one happy too. Man, so many sweet gum. Every time I think I got them all. So let's see what the Squarefoot garden method tells me how to plant the corn. And let's see what the seed pack says as well. So the seed square says, where's corn? Let's find corn. It's in the blue. And blue is 4 plants per square foot. 4, according to the Squarefoot garden method. The pack is telling me I need to plant 6 inches apart, which would be 4 per square, which is the same thing. So that's what we're going to do today. And this is a 2 by 4 foot bed. And this is the bed. This bed is the back corner of my garden. So I'm going to put the 8-foot tall corn back here, and I'll put the 5-foot corn just behind me here. So I'm doing it every 6 inches. Corn, we're going to plant it a 1/2 inch deep. I can do this with my glove, well, one glove off, maybe not both. For corn, I'm not going to overplant. I'm just going to put 1 per square like it said, and let's see what happens. Or, 1 per hole. Last year, I planted this little miniature corn, and it was so cute. It was so cute. I got enough for like 1 meal for the whole season. It added up to like 1 meal. That's it. We didn't plant that one this year. I mean, it was cute. It was fun, but this time I actually want to get more than 1 meal's worth of corn. All right, let me finish this process for this bed and the one behind me, and then we will plant something else. Okay, I have these two beds done. I have all of my 8-foot corn in this bed back here in the back corner. I didn't have that many bantam seeds, so I was able to get like a row in, just a little over a row in this bed here with the 5-foot corn. So I went ahead and finished this bed out in the Crowder peas. So this bed is fully filled out except for the very front. And in the very front, I have some transplants that I already have planned for this space, just haven't had a chance to get it in there. So we'll put the transplants in there later. Let's move on and let me tell you the plan for the rest of these beds. For these next two beds, I have, ooh, the seed's getting wet. I have onion on the back side of this one. I have flowers on the front, on the first part of this one. And then I have my tomatoes that's going to be going up the trellises on both of these beds. But I still have a foot open on each of these beds right here. And the plan is to put the Crowder peas in here as well as a couple squares of carrots. I've grown carrots in this bed very well for the last 2 seasons in a couple of spots. But I probably won't do any more than 1 or 2 square feet of the carrots. For the carrots, that's going to be 16 plants per square. And for the peas, which I didn't tell you, for the Crowder peas, that's 9 plants per square. So I'll use the square tool there to make sure that I'm getting 16 and 9 plants per square. And that's what I'm going to work on next. Both of these beds, since they already have tomatoes and flowers and onion and all that kind of stuff in it, I've already added all of my Fox Farm Happy Frog. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of fertilizer in the areas that I'm going to plant today. I don't know if you can see this, but there is so much surface water. The water is just under this fabric that I have down. I'm just going to sprinkle a couple handfuls all the way across, and I'll mix it in as I go. I've decided for this bed here, I put carrots on the back side before, so I'm going to put carrots back there again, and we will put the Crowder peas right here. That's the plan, and I'm going to try my best to stick to that plan. I just don't want my seeds getting wet. I will bring you back when this job is done, and we will move on to some other direct seed sowing. Traditionally in this bed right here, I have planted for the last 2 or 3 seasons my squash. And by putting squash in this bed for the last 2 or 3 seasons, I've noticed an increase in those squash vine borers. And so my squash isn't doing so well. So for this year, we are not going to put squash in this bed because I feel like they know they're coming. So that's why we're not going to put squash here. Instead, I'm going to put it in this bed behind me. So in this bed right here, I am putting flowers. So my mom should be very happy, but it's going to be the flowers that's doing the work. So we are going to put the zinnias in here, and I'm going to put the very slim green beans in here. So the strike beans are going in here, as well as that new variety that I was showing you earlier. And so that's what we're going to put in here. And then the yellow wax beans, we're going to put that in the GreenStalk, but we will do that after we load this bed up. From a square foot garden standpoint, the flowers are going to go in, most of them at 1 plant per square foot. I think one of these dwarf ones, I can put it every like 9 inches, but for the most part, 1 per square foot. And the beans, the green beans, are all 9 per square foot. So we will space those out in this space here. And maybe I'll do flowers and beans and flowers and beans and flowers or something like that. We'll figure it out as I'm planting this bed. The one thing that I wanted to show you here on this end right here, hopefully I can bring it in close enough and show you that I have volunteer tomato plants. The one variety of a cherry tomato that I decided not to grow this year was the black cherry. I knew black cherry was going to grow all over my garden, and here's proof of it right here. So there's probably a dozen plants right here, plus I have a whole bunch of plants over in another bed. I'm going to leave them for now because I'm sure I'm going to find a place where I need a black cherry or two. So we will leave them in this bed for now. while they're happy. And then as I find a home for them, we will transplant them somewhere else. I'm also helping another group of folks in a community garden, and they may want some black cherries. So then I can pot these up and take them to the community garden. So I just wanted to let you know that's why these are not covered up. This bed had more than enough potting mix, my happy soil in it already. I've already added off camera some, what did I add? Compost and fertilizer, and that's it. So we're gonna plant it up now. Whew. So I am done with all of my raised beds now, and at least in my garden. And one of the other things that I said I was gonna do was replace some of the beans in the pockets that didn't germinate well in my GreenStalk. This is the GreenStalk that I have with all yellow wax beans in it. And there are 3 different varieties in it today, but y'all, it's gonna be 5 varieties when I'm done. And you can see these are growing beautifully. I mean, the plants are healthy. The pockets are full of Happy Frog and my Dr. Earth fertilizer. All of these were started from seeds, but there are a couple pockets like this one right here. I don't even know if you can see it, but there's only 1 plant in it. And there's another pocket down here that only has 2 plants in it. When I put my green beans in my green stalks, I'm not sure on the website what it says, but they have recommendations on the website on how many beans to put per pocket. I believe they said 3. I typically put 5 beans per pocket. I'm going to try not to get in my own shadow. So there are 2 beans in here, and I typically put 5 beans per pocket. I put 3 across the front, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll put 2 just behind it. So that'll give me 5 beans per pocket. Let's see if I can find one. I think there are 5 beans in this pocket. It's kind of hard to see, but 3 across the front and 2 in the back. And that just fills the pocket up nicely. At least I think it fills the pocket up nicely, and it gives me plenty of beans to choose from when I'm harvesting. So there's another one. There are 5 beans in this pocket, 3 across the front and 2 just behind it. And that's the process that I'm going to use to fill in any gaps that I have in this GreenStalk with the 2 brand new varieties of yellow wax beans. The one thing that I do want to remind you about, at least the GreenStalks, I've been talking about how much rain we've been getting and just how my garden is underwater. That might be true for raised beds. That will not be true for my GreenStalks. So even though we've had a ton of rain, I'm still watering my GreenStalks. Maybe not every day, but I am having to come out and give them just a little water because they're thirsty. And I'm finding some of the pockets are wet and some of them are dry. So consistent watering, even though it's raining. So don't believe because it rained, your GreenStalk is in good shape, because that might not be true. The last thing that I want to say about beans, specifically the green beans and probably shelling peas as well, is the recommendation is that you soak them overnight before you plant them. And that is to give a jump start to your germination. If you're going to do a good job of keeping your planters, whether raised bed pots, containers, vertical planters, if you do a good job of keeping that soil nice and moist, those seeds will germinate. They'll just take longer than they would if you soak them. So just one thing about beans, and I'm going to finish these beans right on up. Well, y'all, that's it for my garden anyway, on the things that I'm direct sowing today. Still need to bounce over to the neighbors, but I figured you get the idea of what I'm trying to get done today. I've planted all of these seeds already, plus more. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, giving me a thumbs up, turning on notifications, telling your friends, your family, sharing with everybody. There's going to be other things that I'm going to direct sow in the month of May, maybe June, because we're hitting the end of May, that I will bring you with me when I get to those things. Until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you hang out at Kim's Cozy Corner with me. Bye.